Welcome to episode 7 of Rise and Resilience. Today I am with some of the contestants from the Real Estate Protege. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. If you don't mind, just go around, introduce yourself, and tell everyone what company you're with. Joe, go ahead.
All right. So my name is Joseph Perez. I'm with Home Possible Realty.
Perfect.
My name is Haroon Wahab. I'm with Stonegate Real Estate.
My name is Alex Winiarski. I am with the Brian Karp team at Coach Realtors.
Woo.
And I'm Deanna Graham, and I'm also with Home Possible Realty.
Awesome. So what have you guys been up to since filming the show in January? Joe, you could start.
So I guess I'll start again. I had a baby, which
Congrats.
is amazing.
Congratulations.
That's more important than the work stuff. Aside from that, like real estate wise, I've closed 3 transactions.
Congrats.
I have another 3 in contract.
That's amazing.
And then I have 1 active listing and another one that I'll be coming to the market. I want to say maybe in 2 weeks because next week is 4th of July. So yeah, we're looking at 2 weeks out.
That's amazing. So you're super busy.
Yeah,
So you transitioned from Douglas Elliman to Home Possible.
right.
What has that done for your business?
So the reason I left Douglas Elliman was to go work with Susan Clark and the Marilyn Richard team. But just being around her, having access to, you know, Adam, Ryan, a bunch of different people. I think the biggest thing that I've taken away from that is just seeing their drive, their motivation. And it kind of, every time that I get lazy or I don't want to do something, it sparks, you know, the fire.
Absolutely.
So,
it's super important to surround yourself with, you know, people that are active,
right,
that are busy in the business.
right.
So that's good. Good for you.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I was with Douglas Elliman, and I left them. The bigger companies, the corporate, I mean, the corporate environment wasn't for me, even though I was working in corporate America for a while as in banking. I started joining Stonegate. It was a more family-oriented, you know, community. Brokers were very friendly. It's like a family you can always ask him questions. So one of my best friends, Sal, who recruited me to work with him, he's my mentor. And any questions I have, I mean, like this on a phone call away. So it's like, I learned so much in a small amount of time. In this business, you need to learn stuff and you need to work with someone that's going to really help you. And I feel like all these big corporations and big corps, like, they really don't. Like, it's just you and yourself. Like, good luck, you know? And they're kind of just helping the big top producers, but the other guys, the new guys that are trying to work, it's going to take them a while. So even if they learn, most of them just fail the first year, they just quit. So I feel more happy, more confident. I'm working with someone, and you know, it's a more family. I've always wanted that kind of environment to work with family, and like if I need something, and you know, we have a lot of things that's similar, and I'm getting more business from it. I'm learning more stuff, and if I'm not getting paid, at least I'm learning. So I don't want to waste my time. So it's great. But I've learned a lot. It's in a small amount of time. So
good.
very
And
thankful.
you're out in the field, like you see great houses. You know, you're meeting people. So that's
I'm like, and now I'm doing a lot of open houses. Like every week I do open houses. I'll take all the buyers from the open house. So potential, if they're not interested in that house, I can get them to something else.
right.
Pre-approvals, you know, I know how to get the pre-approvals now, you know, network with the right people, you know, just pushing on social media, you know, following certain people, listening, learning. It's like a lot, the real estate's a lot of learning curve. It's not, I always say that for first year, some people make it big, or some people you just gotta learn. It's the more you learn, the more you'll make. That's it, but it's a learning curve.
Right. Good for you.
Thank you.
And Alex, tell everybody what you were on the show if they didn't see.
So, yeah, so I didn't know what I was walking into getting onto the show. Brian basically said, hey, I'm doing this kind of reality show where I'm going to look to hire my next real estate protege. Didn't give me any more information, just said show up at this office at 4 a.m. So I got there in my car in my suit and I was ready to go. But I was already on Brian Karp's team. I just joined his team in about October of 2020. So I was pretty new to the team, so no one really knew who I was, so it worked out well. But it was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That
That
was-
was an
that
amazing
was
experience.
great.
Yeah.
The mold.
Yeah.
I would never knew, bro. I never knew.
I tried to keep it on the DL. So
You
I think I
were-
did a pretty
You did a
good
pretty
were
good
really
job.
good,
Amazing
yeah.
job.
I was
Yeah.
nervous.
Amazing job.
Where were you before Brian Karp?
So I was with a super small company, Leatherman Homes, in
Okay.
Rockville Center. And I was licensed there, but I was pretty much working primarily as the broker's assistant. And he was kind of a big hitter, so he would do like 75 to 100 closings a year.
Wow.
But he didn't really have a team, it was just him. So I was kind of his primary like admin, transaction coordinator,
Yeah.
kind of everything. So I would follow up buyers and sellers, manage his transactions while he was out kind of picking up new business.
Right.
So I was kind of doing a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, and I was super lucky to learn about the business that way and kind of pick up good habits from him, drop habits from him that I didn't like as much, and then bring it over to a super successful broker in Suffolk County.
Yeah.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Rock star.
Awesome.
What about you?
So since the show, so for me it's been a little interesting, right? When I did the show, I have a full-time job. I work at Southside or South Shore University, Northwell, whatever, in Bayshore. So when I did the show, I took like a week off, like my vacation, and did the show. It was awesome. Met everybody. Got super crazy inspired because I'm like, this is dope. I originally didn't, my whole career in real estate originated from me just wanting to be an investor, fix and flip, or wholesaler, So throughout like me teaching myself that part of the industry, I realized that it would benefit me to get my license. So I got my license, signed on to Home Possible through my friend at work, right? So here I am, right? And I end up being inspired by my team at Home Possible. When I first got there, it was a good team, but I was working still, so I really didn't have like a crazy, like just focused dead set on real estate, So when I did the show, I was like, I gotta do this. Like, I gotta do real estate. Like, like full on agency, like, because it was just so inspiring. You're around like such powerful heavy hitters and people who were like, you gotta like just dedicate time to this, So I did that. And then, so since the show, I actually signed on with Susan Clark as well. I was her transaction coordinator for a little bit. And I learned so much from her, like just how to package yourself as an agent, like just how to really present your offers, the type of service to give. Our brokerage is tied to Cliff Home Mortgage, so we're really buyer friend, like heavy. So everybody knows this market's ridiculous for buyers, right? But in any case, we focus a lot on buyers, and I was like Susan's like buyer's agent, right? She taught me a lot about like how to just like talk to buyers, how to get them to stick to you, because how buyers will be with you for like a week and then like drop you for somebody else. You know what I mean? Like. So she taught me how to keep people around, how to really like build relationships with them, And it's interesting because this industry is, it's strange, like with buyers, I feel like, at least for the side that I've seen, like I've had about 7 in contract and 4 of those deals fell through.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's weird. Like, like we had one, Susan and I, we had one lady, it was her previous buyer from before, she came back. We got this lady 4 accepted offers. You know what I mean? 4 accepteds. And she declined each one. She found a reason why it wasn't for her. So that's crazy. Yeah. We had another guy. We worked really hard, and he was like a buyer who's going to be a seller. And I still keep in contact with him, too. Like, because follow up is everything, right? But he's another one. We got him an accepted, really beautiful house, and really hard to get the accepted. He decided he didn't want the house. Like, so it's like, dude, when you see that too many times, I think working on the buyer side, you're going to be like, first of all, I'm working really hard, like, and then to get so many in contract and then have them fall through, it's like, I don't know if this is the side of the game I want to be on, like, absolutely. So I'm transitioning to listings as well. Like I have one listing coming on, should be coming on in mid-July. Nice. So we'll start there. Yeah. Beautiful. And then, we'll just keep it going.
That's it. That is so true. Like people don't realize you put all this time in for the buyers. Of course. And, half the time they don't even know what they want. Yep. And then they don't realize the value of getting an accepted offer. Like that's
right. Like how hard that is.
It's like I just fought for you to get this accepted offer, and now you may not want this house. Like,
yep. And we put our reputation on the line.
Right.
Like to other agents, we put ourselves out there.
Yep. Big time. I come through. Susan, she really has a whole system in how she presents her offers and stuff like that. And of course, you take it and you tweak it your way. My language, my verbiage, whatever, my energy, but. Still, like, that's a big thing. Like, I come in, I go hard. We tag team this group of agents, and now we look like we're super professional. They want to work with us. They're like, no, you guys are a strong team. You're solid. I want to work with you. Then our buyer is like, no. Exactly. It makes you look crazy.
And it's frustrating because most of the time that's out of our control.
Exactly. We can't do anything about that.
We have no control over.
Yeah, I mean, it happened to me, like, I think twice. One time it happened, like, I show one of my best friends because in this business is a referral business. So most of the referral. I literally drove this kid the end of Long Island, like ever you can name it. I drove like for like 2 days straight. Every appointment, because one of my best friends, go to college. So I can't even say like, all right, you pick 2 or 3. We're looking. He's like, no, bro, like meet me at my house. He would be driving and I would be driving. And I think the first day I drove to every house, and the second day he's like, nah. Meet me in my house. We're going all day, and when I mean all day, like 9 in the morning to like 7 o'clock at night. We're just driving in appointments, confirming the next day, making appointments. We put an offer for a co-op, which he wanted. Amazing, beautiful place. We spoke to the homeowner. The homeowner was there too. Very nice person. The agent wanted us to speak to her too to make sure they felt comfortable, and we got the place. Like the offer accepted. Friday we put the accepted. Monday the agent called me. He's like, bro, accepted offer. I'm like, yes. And I called my friend, I'm like, listen, accept the offer. And he was like, I'm going to change my mind. I'm like, you gotta be kidding. Like, bro, like, you gotta be kidding. Like, this agent has been trying to kill it. I'm trying to kill it. This market is crazy. And you're telling me that you don't want it now? And he was like, and now he's like, you know, they don't know what they want.
They don't understand.
Oh, I want to rent or I want to buy. I'm like, I screened you correctly. Even if they always say screen them. You can screen them as much as you want.
Yeah. You're going to find something out that you
something
didn't know.
Like come out of nowhere, out of the blue moon, like think something else. It's just crazy. Or you have now in the business now, especially in this hot market, houses obviously need pre-approvals or approval funds. Without that, they won't even let you make an appointment.
Exactly.
So I knew a listing agent, which is one of my close friends. He does very well. He's a big developer, and hit him up. My friend had no pre-approval. We're getting his pre-approval set up until Monday, and he's like, "Let me see the house." So I called him, made an appointment. I was like, "Bro, I'll be honest, he doesn't have pre-approval right now, but you know he's solid." He's like, "Yeah, no problem. I'll let you in because I know you. We're friends. You know, we know each other years. You know my mom and dad. All right." So I go, and then my friend offers like $30,000 on their asking. I'm like, "Are you serious, bro?
No.
In this market?" I'm like, "It's not." I work for you as a buyer, and that's perfectly. But at the end of the day, I just ruined that relationship with one of my friends. Now he's not gonna take him seriously because in real estate, it's about relationships. So if you don't have, especially in this market, you're like, this guy's not serious. This guy just dropped $30,000. Are you kidding? And he sold a house, I think, over $100,000 over asking.
Wow. That's the thing. Like we work so hard trying to figure out how to get to the agent, the listing agent, how to really make your client stand out. You know, I've been doing this since we stopped the show. I started on this team maybe a few weeks later, like 2-3 weeks later, and since then it was like nonstop. You know, and I saw a lot of progress. Like I said, we got a lot in contract, and then they fell. So it's like, you know, it seems like you're working almost like uphill. You know, in certain areas of this industry right now. You know, so it's good, I think, to stay around. And also, I went back to work. Mm-hmm. You know, I have a daughter, and like, you know, the benefits and health benefits and stuff like that. Like, I can't beat it. No. I literally can't beat free healthcare. You know what I mean? I went back, and you know, real estate also, if you don't have a 9-to-5, or if you don't have income coming, or if you're not closing and you don't have money in the bank to hold you, it's like, you're not gonna make it. You know what I mean? Like, so
it's a scary feeling.
Exactly. Like, you need money in the bank. Like, you got to be closing deals. You got to be closing. Like, if you're not closing, you're not gonna have, and you're not gonna eat. You know?
Exactly.
So it's like, I'm like, I gotta get back to work. Anyway, I gotta maintain my life, you know, while I build this business. And I think that you know, as long as, like Joe said, as long as you stay around people that like inspire you, then you'll stick with it. You know?
Yeah, you won't give up.
Right.
I think the biggest thing for me, like, because most of my clients are buyers, and everyone is like feeling that like they're getting so discouraged. Like, you have people that are really, really qualified buyers.
Yeah.
You know, amazing credit. Putting great down payments, and they're getting outbid house after house after house, and you could just see it on their face, like they want to give up.
Well, it's that market too, but we even have like pre-approvals, like legit pre-approvals, good pre-approvals.
Like
great buyers.
Right, people got like money in the bank. They have cash reserve. Like, they have it.
Or there's some clients that I work with that, you know, kind of like, the numbers make sense. Like, don't get me wrong, the numbers are perfectly sense, but in this market, it's not gonna happen. It just doesn't. Like, you know, certain towns, certain neighborhoods, it's just not gonna happen. Even though they think like, you know, $600,000-$700,000 is a lot of money for, you know, a nice decent home in Long Island, but now the average home in Long Island is like 6 and change. So
exactly.
Like, where are you really gonna live? You know?
Exactly.
And then they get mad if you don't give them the house, or I need certain recommendations, certain criteria, and I'm like, I'm trying to work with you guys, but and then even if you have one guy who's $1 million pre-approval, it's so tough to find something. He's like, I don't like anything.
Right. Yeah, because it's like they get the $1 million pre-approval. They don't really want to spend $1 million.
Exactly.
They want to spend like 4. You know what I mean? Or like 6, between 4 and 6.
And he's like, I'm showing, he wants certain talent, and I show him everything. He's like, I just don't like anything. I'm like, what do you mean you don't like anything? I'm like, you get $1 million pre-approval. The houses are gorgeous. It's a great town.
Right.
I just don't like it. I'm like, what are you trying to think?
Yeah, that's what I had to learn a lesson. The student taught me something similar like that with that client that we got the 4 acceptance for.
Wow.
After like the first time, because she was moving with her family, so her family there was not enough space. So we're like, okay. The first time, you know, Susan's like, listen, we don't have to go forward. You know what I mean? Because we don't have time to really play with people. Like, at that time, I had more free time. So like, I could actually do this. I was dedicating a lot of time with this lady. Like you said, like taking her out every day, filling up my schedule every day, you know? So she was like, listen, you don't have to keep like doing this with this lady. Like, you know, and I was like, no, you know, let's try. She's a mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you start to like build relationships with your clients. And then you feel, you know, their story, right? You know what's going on with them. So you're like, I want to help them. You know, like, I want to do this. I'm not going to give up on them. The second time, I was like, I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
But like the fourth time, I was like, yeah, we can't. We have to cut her loose. And she was like calling us up, like, hey, can you guys schedule an appointment for this property? You know what I mean? And we were like, no, sorry, like we can't work with you anymore, you know.
Right.
And that was rough because, you know, who's to say the next agent she went with didn't close with her? You know what I mean? Like that was my thing. I was like, wow, like now we're gonna. Yeah. We know she has the money. She was one of the people. I don't know about how you guys are doing your offers. But a little tip we were doing, you probably all know already, but we were like going over appraisal price. We were already offering like that. Like, listen, we'll go 10 over appraisal if they had the money, you know? And so that's why she was getting all these acceptance because she had a lot of cash reserve, you know? But even like with that, like even with the perfect buyer who was getting acceptance, we had to cut her loose. And that was like such a weird lesson, I feel like. You know,
it's tough to make that business decision.
Right.
It's like you get personally attached.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, you have to make money.
Exactly.
So you're not a tour guide.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How do you guys think you can like transition from a buyer's agent to a seller's agent? Like, what's the main thing that you guys focus on in order to do that? You could start.
I could start. So I was working with a lot of buyers initially. Actually, my first deal was more on the listing side. It was, but primarily I was working with buyers. And what I realized is that the only reason people think that they need to work with buyers in the beginning is because I think a lot of people, the listing agents, let's say, have all these buyers, right? So they want you to come on their team as a new agent, close the buyers, and they get a percentage of that deal, right? Why do I need to represent buyers? Why can't I represent sellers?
Exactly.
So I just literally, what I've done since the day I started, I just watch every podcast, read every book, try to see what successful people are doing, take what they do that I like, implement it. What I don't like, I don't do. And I've just been learning. That's the biggest thing. And it's worked. I mean, I've gotten a handful of listings already right out the gate. I've only been, an agent for 6-7 months now. And it's just making that mental transition that, no, I don't need to just represent buyers. If I don't do business, just learn. That's the biggest part. You know, I'm just, like I said, surrounding myself with people that are successful and trying to learn. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest transition. I mean, you don't need to represent just buyers. I mean, I love working with buyers. The buyers that I've been able to close with are mostly Sphere, mostly friends and family. That being said, it's always sweeter to be on the listing side.
Control.
Yeah,
listen,
100%.
That's where I'm focusing all of my energy.
Good.
I mean, I put it on my Instagram, 3 listings a month. So right now I'm at 2. So I have until the middle of next week to sign another listing, and I will do everything in my power. Won't sleep.
What are you doing to get that other listing?
I'm calling people. I'm dropping flyers. I don't really have success with the flyer, so I might just cut that out. I do buy Zillow leads. I had one. She was he needed to buy, but he needs to sell to buy. So that was one that worked out. But I'm just crushing the phones. Yeah. Just calling all day.
I like that you set a goal and you make it like, because when we set goals, I feel like it's like this big number you need to achieve at the end of the year.
Right.
But when you break it down like monthly, I think that makes it like so much more like achievable. I like that you do that.
And I'll add to that. So I actually listened. I got a great line. I listened to this podcast. Noah Kagan, my friend, works for AppSumo. Shout out to Allman. And the CEO said they interviewed the CEO because he's going to be stepping down, and he said, you know, when you have a goal. Basically, this is what he said. When you have a goal, it needs to be extremely, extremely rigid. You want to do 20 deals? 20 deals. How you get there, that's the flexible part. It doesn't matter how you get those 20 deals, but if you need to do 20 deals, you can't say, okay, there's 1 month left. There's no way I'm going to get 5 deals. No. I wouldn't sleep until I get those 5 deals. Yeah. Because that's my goal. And if I don't make it, you know.
At least you're setting those goals.
Exactly. But you can't be flexible on the actual goal. Right. How you get there, you can be flexible, right? The details are flexible, but
that makes sense. Okay. What about you guys? How do you feel like you're gonna transition from working with buyers to sellers?
I think like what Joe said is makes a lot of sense with the mental part of it.
Yeah, it's all mental.
Yeah.
I think like once you just decide,
Right.
once I just decided that I wasn't gonna do buyers anymore, I stopped taking on buyers. You know what I mean? And it might look like, oh, you know, you're not working, or you're not like, you know, I'm only working with the buyers that I already had. I have like 4 people that I'm working with still, you know, and like people who like, there's this one guy who came back from like the beginning of the year. Like, you know, if I've already worked with them, or if they're, you know, I'll work with them, but the objective is to transition mentally, right? So I think like for me personally, I know I came into real estate like, and I automatically, like I didn't even look at the seller side, you know, I automatically was like just on the buyer side. I had so many opportunities to work with buyers, you know, that like, it was like kind of, I don't want to say it was like pushed on me, but like that was like all that was around me, you know,
Right.
like it wasn't like a big training on listings, like, you know, it wasn't, my brokerage isn't listing heavy, like, you know, it's, yeah, I get listings, but work with buyers, close the buyers, you know, so for me, it's, I've built my whole business this far, like all these weeks, all this time around buyers. So now I got to shift it. It's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's like, it took a while to get my business and my systems right to get to where I'm close, you know, I'm getting offers accepted with buyers. So now it's going to take a minute before I get like all my systems. You know how it is. Like you got to get all your systems in order, like, and stuff like that. And I got to choose them now. I got to pick which ways I want to prospect. Like, so it's like stuff like that. That's, I just think is like what it is. I definitely believe that though. Like once you set the goal and you're like, I want to do listings, you're going to pick what you're going to do. You're either going to buy leads, you know, you're going to get on a new team that gives leads for listings. You know what I mean? You're going to, you know, hit the phones crazy.
Yeah.
You're going to call whoever you're going to call is a thing. Who are you going to call? You're going to call FISBOs, you're going to call expires, who are you going to call?
Right.
You're going to drive around, like, you're going to knock on doors. Like, and so it's like all that kind of, that me personally, I'm just like deciding right now, like
How you're going to do
my
that.
method of attack, right? Like how I'm going to go.
That makes
you know?
sense.
And if I could just add, I have nothing against working with buyers. I love working with buyers.
You know, it's just not that market.
But what I was gonna say is that it's
Everyone's
good.
going to transition when it's a buyer's
Yeah,
market.
exactly.
the one takeaway I do have is that it's good to know the buyer side if you're gonna start listing, because then you know
The whole
what,
deal.
right. You know what where the other side is coming from.
Yeah.
When an agent is maybe giving you a little bit of BS, you can sniff it out right away, right?
Right.
I'm sure you've dealt you've listed properties, right? You've dealt with that.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
when you have 10 offers and you have one agent calling you every 5 minutes saying, oh, he's pre-approved with my guy, my attorney, and it's like, all right, listen, everyone's been pre-approved and everyone knows their attorney. It's like, it doesn't
Very
make
simple
you
stuff,
stand
right.
out. So there's definitely little tricks that agents do, and it's like, I've heard this a million times.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's tricks that work.
Yeah,
There's
definitely.
tricks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You can't give them all the sauce.
yeah. I think a lot of it's just being professional, honestly. I'm sure we've all had listings that you've gotten an offer where someone like sent like a JPEG picture from their iPhone of like the offer. It's like, listen,
Yeah.
I want a PDF of
Right.
the offer with a pre-approval and an email. Like, I'm not looking for a text message or a
course.
call.
Yeah.
and say,
Right,
"We're
yeah.
offering
Broker full,
550."
everything. Like,
Right.
Yeah, I
It's
want a
all
legitimate
It's
offer. I
professional.
think a big
Yeah.
part of it is just presenting yourself professionally, because those are the people that listing agents want to work with.
Definitely.
Of course.
And you know, at the end of the day, it's the same amount of money. It's 2%. You know what I mean? Or 3%. Whatever you sign your listing for, you're still going to get only a percentage of, you know?
Right.
So it's just really, who do you want to, it's not that you work with listings and now you get all this more money, but you're just going to close more deals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to
Right.
have more options. If somebody comes to you and is like on the buyer side, if your buyer is like, oh, I don't want this house. Like, for what I've experienced, there is no million other houses for me to give them. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't get 13 accepted offers. You know what I mean? And you can just pick. But on the listing side, if your seller is like, I don't want that offer, you go, all right, there's 20
what's
more
the next?
offers, right? You know, like, so it's just more convenient. It's just easier. You know what I'm saying? It just makes more sense. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
I think there has to be a healthy balance, you know. You have to work with buyers, you have to work with sellers, and then eventually you become Brian Carp
It's
and
the numbers,
only
right?
represent the sellers. But it takes time. I mean, and that's not always guaranteed that's going to happen.
Right.
I think it needs to be a healthy amount of both.
I feel like you gotta do everything.
You got to do everything.
Everything, rentals,
Yeah, you got to be open to
buyers,
anything.
sellers.
Yeah.
I mean, your chances obviously as a buyer, if you become a buyer's agent and if they have something to sell, so they buy a house and you can sell their house. So
Right.
It's
Right.
double
Yeah.
the transaction. Or
Exactly.
it's just, I feel like obviously this business is a referral business. If it's all word of mouth also, that's how you get most of your business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can always door knock, throw flyers, but the probability is not really that much. I mean, I'm not going to discourage anyone, but I mean, I've gotten thousands of flyers I've dropped near my neighborhood, and I've seen this past couple of weeks listed with other agents, and it gets me so mad. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like,
Right.
and I see I think maybe 6 or 7 homes that I literally put flyers, and I mean in the cold, in the hot, whatever. And now listen with other agents. And I'm like, you kidding me? Like,
you just got to them at the wrong time.
The thing is, no, it's not even
the
that.
The big thing for me is not just bring the flyer, though. Is they literally knock on the door and talk to them.
But the thing is that certain people already have a certain agent that they work with, or they're comfortable, or friends. So you trying, at least I know I tried, because I could be like, I went all these neighborhoods, I did it. So I feel good, at least I didn't miss out. But if I didn't do it and someone else listened, I'm like, oh, you know what, I should have tried.
Yeah.
So at least you try your best. That's how it is. In this game, it's like, the harder you try, the better, I guess, luck you get. Yeah. But it takes time. I mean, it's not gonna happen, overnight. I mean, I did my first commercial deal. I mean, we closed on it. 6 months it took me to close. 6 months, and I'm like, 6 months? That's crazy. We closed in December, contract in December, under contract, and we just closed like a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Things take time.
Yeah. Do you guys think that? Sorry, go ahead.
No, well, I was gonna say, what works for one person doesn't work for everybody.
Correct. Of course.
I'm heavy on the phones. There's people I know that drop flyers and they get all their business that way.
Yeah.
Shout out to Manny.
Yeah, Manny. Go Manny.
He's a monster when it comes to dropping flyers.
Wish you were here, Manny.
Yeah. Some people have a big sphere, right?
Yeah.
You have, guys like the Alexander team. I mean, those guys, they're the number one team in the country because their network is so strong.
Of course.
So they don't drop flyers. They don't call anybody. People go right to them because they know they're going to get the deal done, right?
Their reputation already built.
Right. Yeah. So I think everybody has a different way of, prospecting and generating leads. So it's just what works for you. What do you want to do and what are you happy doing?
Of course. Yeah.
And what do you enjoy doing?
Right.
Yeah.
I think like if you're like, oh, I'm door knocking and you're not happy, no one's going to call you. No one's going to want to work with you. They're going to feel that energy.
Yeah, of course.
So if you like to be on the phones, hit the phones. If you like to be door knocking, hit the doors.
You like the flyers or the flyers?
If you like the flyers, if you
don't want to talk to anyone, put the flyers.
Yeah.
You're having a bad day, put the flyers. Just you can piss off with the hoodie, it's fine.
For real.
But just put the flyers. Just do the job.
Just enjoy what you're doing. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But you guys, you got everyone that was on the show. I mean, you already established yourself. You were on the team. Did you guys find that after the show you were confident enough to put yourself out there? Yeah,
I mean, I'm a person that can talk to anyone in general. Yeah. I never been shy like that. But when we went to the show, I see obviously Brian Carr's work ethic, which is amazing. How he does everything. Certain things now, I push. I guess he works out certain timing. That's very important. You have to take care of your health. That's number one. Focus on what you eat, obviously, because if you eat something bad or good, that makes your day. Because if you in general, it gives you that energy and stuff. In this business, I've learned that you just gotta keep trying, just keep pushing. There's days that there's not gonna be nothing. There's months could be nothing.
Yeah.
But you just gotta keep pushing, and you have to. I always say you have to put a deadline for something in life. All right, you have all right, I'm trying this much, and this is my goal. If I complete this goal, great. If not, I gotta do something else because I just can't continue to keep doing this. But in this business, it's a tough business. I mean, look, 90% of agents fail the first year, so it's it's not an easy business. If everybody was easy, everybody would be doing it. Everybody real estate agent, which everybody's trying to be a real estate agent right now. There's more real estate agents than homes right now because everybody thought there's $1 million in this business, but they don't get that. They think it's a lot of things glam. Everyone's like, oh, the Instagram, wow, they're driving these cars, they have these nice houses, but I mean, it's good, but I mean, Instagram, reality is reality. I mean, let's not talk about Instagram, but you know what I mean. But it's just, you have to push at it, and things happen, some things don't. Like Deanna was saying, months, contract. I would be sleeping. I'm like, yo, I'm making so much money now.
Right, I'm doing good.
The bill's on me, guys. We're going out for dinner, Credit card, I got it. Don't worry about it. I'll buy this nice pair of shoes. It's fine. But then you hit you oh, shoot. Man,
it's
I got bills to pay. And, this is not closing. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
That's a tough business. People don't get that.
Yeah.
If everybody watching $1 Million Listing, they think they're gonna close a deal. Like Ryan Serhant, everybody.
Right.
That happened, bro.
They close those deals right there.
Exactly. Ryan Serhant, I think his first year he made I think $9,000. I think like that.
Yeah.
His first year. That's all he made. Yeah, his rental agent. So I always say, as long as you're learning something, always think you're gaining experience. That's more worthy. Or if you're getting paid, but you're not going to get paid without the knowledge.
Right.
And if you're not getting paid or knowledge, then you're just wasting your time, to be honest with you. There's a lot of brokerages, which I felt personally myself when I was in Element, not to talk bad about them, but in general. But I wasn't learning anything. I just wasn't. I wasn't learning anything. No one's really helping you. Everybody says keep going to training, which I did go to training. But you need to work with a team or a mentor. And in this business, everybody's so busy that it's very hard to work with someone. Someone's going to really teach you the ropes because everybody got things to pay themselves. They got bills to pay. This is their own business. They don't want to invest their time.
Right.
in someone else that's not going to really, benefit them or return of investment. It's all about that. But you have to really want it, and you just got to keep pushing. I think that's it.
Yeah. So social media, how do you guys feel about it? I know you're big on social media.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's killing it.
And
I love it.
Yeah,
People probably hate me for some of the stuff I say.
I love the
it's
videos.
hysterical.
I look forward to the
Oh,
stories.
really?
Whenever you pop up, I click it right away.
Oh, thank you so
Same.
much. I love it. Yeah, I love social media. I mean, I'm a very outgoing person, I think.
Yeah, you are.
So, and I like to talk.
Yeah, you do.
He's a Gemini like me. That's why.
Probably put you guys on the same couch.
That's what we can talk. That's what we call. We're both Geminis. Like we could talk. That's
Oh,
why.
you are both Geminis?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, I love the social media side. I love to be able to talk my shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm new, but at the end of the day, my family's owned the business for a long time. We were very successful, but COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's the other piece. I took a lot of what I learned from doing that and transitioned it into the business side of real estate. And I think that's why so many people fail. They don't know how to run their own business.
Big time.
But I feel like honestly, with social media, it can really make you or break you. But I feel like the more you put out content, it's gonna really help you out. Because I posted a lot of stuff. Like I learned a lot of stuff from Brian Karp, God bless his soul. But he always helped me out. I mean, he helped me. I mean, he told me the real estate schedule about put one day motivational, one day market update, one day real estate, guides, and like luxury this or posting things up, which was amazing.
I enjoy your posts
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah. And you put info.
Yeah, certain
stuff
things.
that I don't know.
Yesterday I put a motivational quote. I got 43 likes. I'm like, that's pretty embarrassing. That's pretty good. I mean, I'm getting that. I'm getting little things out there.
You start to become a resource.
Stories. And I'm seeing now, not even in real estate, every business. I mean, because I was in the car business, I have a background in that, which I always loved. And a lot of these car dealers are selling cars through social media. It's like, we have these kind of cars. We have this inventory. This is coming in. And everybody's using social media. It's like a free platform of business that it can be running 24 hours. Like you post something, so 24 hours. Who's gonna do that? And it's free. Like I got my first real estate deal from that. Honestly, my commercial deal, which someone apparently found out that I was in real estate. They referred me, and then they called me, and I got the deal for it. I was like, free money. This is straight up free money.
Crazy.
And Instagram's not paying. Instagram's not charging for that.
Right.
And the real estate, the more people know about it, the more you'll get business. Like the more followers you have, the more people you post up. Then they you can't text and call everybody or email everybody every day. I mean, you could, but really, who really checks it?
Yeah.
But social media is first thing all right, post up today. Or, I tried Facebook and LinkedIn. It's good. I mean, I post the same stuff up there, but I don't get that much. I guess
Instagram is a place.
Instagram is something with the algorithm and all that stuff.
Instagram and TikTok.
It's really TikTok. I mean, there's agents right now. I'm like, they're killing it. I mean, they're probably making more money on their Instagram real estate on TikTok than their own real estate. So they use that as their side income to pay for their real estate, if they don't make a good month. So it's a great platform. We just gotta try it. I mean, I honestly was not very, I guess, camera friendly. I'm not a big fan of pictures in general or video. I'm not a big fan. I always kept everything quiet.
Right.
But I post stuff on Instagram and stuff, and now people message me I like your stuff, bro. Good stuff. If anyone knows, I'll buy a house. I mean, I guess it's working,
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like I want to try to I messaged you a couple times photography. Let's do something perfect. I always want to make something perfect, but Instagram you just can't make it perfect. You just gotta keep throwing content out.
Throw it out.
So you learn. That's how the game is. It's a learning curve.
And make it perfect when you start making money.
Yeah.
My videos are horrible.
No, they're pretty good.
I take the cringiest video sometimes. And it's whatever, let's put it out there.
But it's great.
My friends will make fun of me, but someone will associate with me with real
my
estate at
friends
some
roast
point.
me.
Yeah, me too. It's all right.
Oh my god. Remember that picture I put up with me doing the kick?
Yeah.
I remember that.
The Ryan
that was
Serhan
good.
kick.
I love
Shout
that.
out Ryan Serhan as well.
It's a cool picture though.
Yeah,
I like it.
I love your
My
sneakers.
friends took it and photoshopped it into every possible, kicking in bathroom doors, kicking a soccer ball.
Abuse.
Bathroom doors.
But that's what friends are there for, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Gotta keep it fun.
Yeah, that's it. If you're not having fun, then it's you're not gonna be successful.
For sure.
And you're on Insta.
Yeah.
I see you.
I'm not
Yeah.
as active as I should be,
Right.
but I try to post once or
Yeah.
twice a week, on a good week.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Sometimes you just need time away from posting because it becomes very
It becomes obsessive.
and then
Instagram
you're
is addicting.
obsessing over what you're gonna post.
Very
and it's
addicting.
Yeah. I
It is
definitely
addicting.
slowed
Very
down
addicting.
with posts as far as posting my transactions, I like posting on my story a lot.
Yeah.
I'll post whatever I'm doing. I got into a little bit of off market,
I saw that.
situations, right?
That's
So I'll
nice.
post
I like
that.
that stuff.
That's really my real thing, you know what I mean? So I'm still working on that too. Agency would kind of fund that, but in any case, I stopped posting so much of my transactions because to me, like, I started to be like, I don't know if I wanted everybody in the world counting my deals, you know, just for me. Like, I was like, I'm a really private person. I love social media. I can talk all day on social media. I love it. You know, I love posting pictures, selfies, letting everybody into my life. I think that's great. It's really fun. I'm good on the camera. You know, I like it.
You are.
But, you know, still in all, when it comes to my money and like my business, I get it. Posting, like a good friend of mine, one of my first clients, he's one of my good friends too. He told me, I was telling him this. I was like, you know, I don't know, because I stopped posting because I don't want people counting my deals, you know? Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, I hear you, but then it also becomes like, are you doing business? Because you're not posting your deals. Right. You know what I mean? So now people are looking at you like, are you a good agent? Like, because you're not posting.
You must not have anything going on.
Not posting anything. Right. Yeah. So I'm like, damn, that's true. You know, like, so I think social media, it's everybody has their own individual experience with it. You know,
of course.
I think it's definitely something that if you're not too careful, you'll get sucked into. You know, I think we have the right to cut out certain parts and keep certain parts of our life private.
Of course,
you know, our generation really doesn't really realize that we don't have to share everything.
Yeah, they share everything.
Like, we don't, you know, like, but we can still post, and I can still show you that I'm active in the business without showing you how. You know, before you count my bank account. You know what I mean? Like, I got 3 guys waiting outside my house. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was good. How many views the club got? Give me that check right now.
Suppose this. Oh, she's got money. Like, you know, right? Oh, yeah.
We had in front of your
car. And that's how
people
think too. You know, you post a few like under contract or just so then
they
think
like, oh, rolling in an adult, like, you know,
relax.
And then it's like, wait a minute.
It's like relax. I drive a Hyundai.
Listen, I had one of my friends. He was like messaging me like, "What's going on? I haven't talked to you." I was like, "Bro, I'm trying to. You know, people don't understand in real estate. Like, there's days that you're really not doing anything. Like, there's nothing happening. So yeah, you have a lot of free time.
Right.
I mean, free time, like you can still like manage to like do something. You know, go outside, whatever, or get a dinner or lunch or something." And then there's days that you're so busy, like you just don't know what's going on. You're getting phone calls, your buyers are emailing, you have to make appointments, and then they're like, "Yeah, you're so busy, bro. Like you're making so much money." I'm like, "Yeah, so much. Like you know, I can't really count." But I'm like, I'm everywhere. Like if your head is like everywhere, you wake up in the morning, you're like, all right. Like sometimes I honestly, how I always have been on my notepad. Like I plan the day. Like all right, call expire listings, call leads, call this, or call clients, or make appointments, or call this. Like I need to know because. It's not like I'll forget. It's just you have so much things in your going on. All right.
Yeah.
You know, you might wake up like, all right, this happens, and you know, there's life. You know, things happen here, things happen. Do this, responsibility this, and then like you just kind of lose count. Yeah. Like, oh my god, I didn't do these kind of things. I messed my day up. Like.
Right.
And then you know you're expecting a phone call or someone that you missed a call, and then you're like, oh, the guy looks like he's not even responsible. Like he didn't even pick up my phone call, or didn't call me, or I'm supposed to follow up. Oh, oops, I was supposed to follow up, and I'm gonna have to follow up with 40 other people. Like, oh.
Yeah.
So or you forgot to call those leads. Like it's you gotta do that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy business. People just think it's I say if it's easy, let everybody do it. But
it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Definitely, especially like Joe said, like a lot of people they're not successful because they don't know how to run an actual business.
Correct.
You know.
Yeah.
Luckily my mom was an entrepreneur, my sister and I, we have a business, you know, as well. Like so I was able to really apply this like a business. So it's easier like that. You know, like that's what people don't understand. Like they may think of it like, oh, now you're running a business that like seems like a lot, but it's easier when you run it like a business because it makes sense. First of all, it's going to make more sense. You're going to structure it out. Mm-hmm. You know, you got your product, you got your customer. You know what I'm saying? Like you got, you know, your market. You know, how are you going to market yourself? How are you going to get out there? You know, it's literally just entrepreneurship, real estate. You know, and what's cool about real estate too, the industry is like you can bounce around. Like if you're not doing good with buyers, you can go to sellers. If you're not doing good with agency, you can become something else. Like you want to be an appraiser, you want to do titles, you want to do mortgages, you know what I mean? You can get
be
into something else. Right, you want to be an investor. Like wherever you shine, you can find a niche in the real estate industry to shine in, you know? So that's cool too.
Yeah, it's true. So how do you guys feel about the possibility of them making a season 2?
Oh, that'd be great.
I think that's hilarious.
I really want to see that.
I want to be a guest star. Right?
Huh? Yeah, right?
No, I want to be a judge.
Oh, a judge, yeah.
I want to be like, let's see if they're going easy on them or hard on them, because if they're going too easy, I'd be like, oh, this is nothing. You guys are having a good time. This is fun. Like, you know, this has to be, honestly, if he does season 2, there has to be during the winter, or it has to be very hot in the summer.
Yeah.
Listen,
it was, I'll never forget the first morning we were standing out there
that day that the week that we did it was one of the coldest weeks in the world. Yeah. I'm like, and it was 4:00. We were there till like 4:10, and I'm like, it's freezing. I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right, who's gonna leave and go home because it's cold? Like, I think they're trying to test our endurance. Like, all right, who's gonna stay? for like 10 minutes, and I came early. I literally was there like, I think 3:30, and they're like, yo, get back in your car. Yeah, Jeanette was like, get back in your car. And then I went again, I think 3:50, and she's looking at me like, go back again. I'm like, yo, all right, 4 o'clock, all right. So 4:10, and I'm like, it was like, wow, it was a great experience. It went a lot. I mean, I met you guys, was, you know, we have a good relationship now. You know, we know each other.
Definitely have a bond.
A bond, like we went through something. We went through something. Huh?
We went through hell.
Yo, listen, we went through something. I didn't last the day 3. You lasted the day 3. God bless you. I mean, I lasted day 1 and 2, which was still a miracle.
Definitely, we got embarrassed. We got, you know,
we had crazy days. 4 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
We laughed, we cried, we wanted to rip each other's heads off. It was a great show.
No, and then especially when we had to become enemies to each other. I'm like, you gotta be kidding.
Yeah, that
we
was
all day.
like
So I'm like working with Joe, working on Joe, like, all right, who do you want to discuss? I'm like, are you serious? Like, yo, Andrea was a team leader. Joe was like trying to help me out here, and I gotta qualify them. Oh, this is hard, man. This is
You
hard.
said me, didn't you?
I probably did. Listen, bro, I had to say what I had to say, bro.
There you go.
That's okay.
It's a business.
It was a business. It was
That's
it was
okay.
nothing personal.
Do people like
I
recognize
still
you
love
guys
you.
It's all
when
good. I
you're
love you too.
out and about?
I really did get, like, I went to my friend's baby shower, and his friend's friend is in real estate. I was like, oh, I was on the show. He's like, yeah, I saw you. I saw you there. I was like, oh my God, really?
That's cool.
So that did happen.
It happened like twice for me. I'll never forget. I was on this open house line, and this guy like came out of nowhere and like scared the crap out of me. He's like, "You were on that show," and I was like kind of embarrassed. My buyers were like, "What's he talking about?" But it was funny. But I don't really get it that often.
It's happened to me over a dozen times.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
How many
It's actually
views does it have? I don't even know how many.
I think in the thousands. Like the thing is, I think they had something with YouTube going on. They thought YouTube thought. I spoke to JB. So YouTube was saying something that they were trying to make like a real, like legit, like crazy show or something like that. With I don't know, something with copyrights or whatever. I don't know, but honestly, they should get hundreds of thousands of views. I mean, listen, that was real. We didn't plan it. All these shows are planned. You know it. Like everything is planned. All right, you cried today. You laughed today. You
Right.
did that.
No, this was
Right.
all
We went
real.
like at 4 a.m. Like, all right. Who's gonna live here? Like, am I gonna live? I honestly thought like when JB came, he's like 4 a.m. Come, and I'm like, all right, bring your gym clothes, sneakers, suit, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Right.
Like, first I'm like 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning. I was like, okay, I thought I was mistaken, you know. And then like we had to be with all our clothes and all these kind of crazy stuff, and I'm like, all right, we're in the jungle
at night every day.
I was like, we're gonna be in the jungle. I don't know. And then they said, God knows what's happening next day. And we knew the next day, the whole week was freezing. And I'm like, please don't wake me early in the morning and make me jog in the freaking cold. Like, I don't want to do that. I was like, maybe in a t-shirt he might do it. I mean, it is what it is. You're gonna do whatever you gotta do, you know.
And actually, funny, a lot of the people that have recognized me happen to be from Douglas Elliman, and they all ask about you. A lot of them.
Aw,
Yeah. So.
that's funny.
That's
They
crazy.
don't just
Yeah,
recognize me.
we're
They're like, oh my God, I know Andrea as well.
Wait, that's
funny.
crazy. We're all from Douglas Elliman, all 3 of us.
Yeah. Not anymore though.
Not anymore.
We out of there.
Bye, D.
Attaboy.
And I did a deal with Andrea's aunt recently.
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Yeah. She was hassling me. I couldn't find my lead paint form. I had to send her. I think she asked me like once a week for like a month. I was like,
No.
I have it somewhere. It was on my computer.
I was
had
trying
it,
to do a deal with Alex like twice, but my buyer was, I felt so
Yeah.
embarrassed.
but no, it's all right.
And he tried to hook me up twice.
Scam, like.
Scam.
Did you guys close that deal?
Yeah.
Good.
It was actually pretty smooth. It was a
Good.
weird house because it didn't have a CO. Like the whole house. It was built. It predated COs.
Which one, Alex?
It was a little
Was it in
two-story
Patchogue?
house in Patchogue. It was
Oh, that's the one I want.
No, it was a different
Oh,
one.
there was another one.
It was 2 bedrooms with a spiral staircase.
Right.
So you couldn't even get a CO because it didn't conform to the current building code.
Oh, wow.
So the buyer just took it as is, and their bank accepted it. So I thought
Beautiful.
we were going to have
That's
some sort
awesome.
of issue, but
Yeah.
it closed
That's
super
crazy.
smooth.
I was gonna ask you, you guys are getting a lot of cash buyers because this market, it's like it's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, I have a lot of these people like, and I have like cash buyers in general. Like when it comes to offering, like I would say we want to take the cash offer. It's like they're putting 50% down
Yeah.
at these other buyers, and I'm like, wow.
I like cash buyers.
You just have to know how to position
Yeah.
your offer.
Yeah, it's
Because I've gotten my offer accepted over people like
Cash.
that. And then I had one really good lead. They were putting down 500,000.
Wow.
They were willing to spend up to $1 million.
Crazy.
Worst
Insane.
buyer of all time.
Of course, what else
Isn't
is
that
there?
crazy?
I had to drop them
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they weren't horrible to deal with. I mean, I only dealt with them for like 3 weeks
Yeah.
because I'm starting to quickly learn who's ready, willing, and able, right?
Yeah.
Who's worth your time? Who
serious.
is right?
Exactly.
And they have all the money in the world,
But then
but they're not willing to go out and see properties.
Yeah.
You know what? let the next agent deal with them, you know. There's always another potential client.
Yeah.
You know, don't waste your time. I think that's another big problem that I've sorted through. You know, I learned early on not to waste my time with people that are not ready, willing, and able.
Yeah.
If they're not, sorry, but kick them to the curb.
Yeah.
You know,
So Joe,
not in a mean way.
I was gonna ask you a question. So when it comes to buyers, right? Like you get buyers from like open houses or whatever, or in general, buyers in general, and you call them, you text them, you message them, you know, maybe for like weeks or whatever, and you don't get an answer. Like you just like say goodbye, or you waste your time, or
No,
until they give you a definite official no, like I don't want to work with you, I'm not interested.
No, I just drop them to like a nurture. Like if they're a new lead, I'll hit them up every few days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be too annoying, but I'll hit them up every few days. If they're not really responding, I'll drop after like, let's say 2 weeks, I'll drop it back to once a week. And then after, let's say a month, if they're not really responding, I just put them in a, you know, like a nurture where they're just getting an email a month and a text a month. That's all automated. It's like,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I'm not actually doing any work, any physical texting or messaging. It's all automated.
Oh, beautiful.
So they'll get one text, one email. They're just in the nurture, and it's not worth my time to be looking for homes for them, doing the, you know, the runaround that you have to do.
Send
for
listings, call them,
no.
text
Right,
them.
because
you know,
they're
what's going
not,
on.
if they're not responsive, they're not ready, willing, and able.
Right.
So don't waste your time.
I agree. I used to do, well, I still do. We would do like cold, you know, warm, hot, and like lit. You know what I mean? And
I like
whoever
the
was
lit.
like,
I like the lit.
was like,
Yeah,
they
lit
were
sounds
like,
good to me.
All right. you
Where's
know?
those lit leads, baby?
So like lit was like everybody that I was talking to every single day that I was taking out. You know what I mean? Cold was people like that you know that you got them, they ignore you. Something they're just like ice cold, like you said, once a month, once every 2 months. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, here you go, hello.
Yeah.
You know, they have your number. You know what I mean? They know that they're not ready. They're not ready. Warm is like, you know, the people that they're kind of ready. Maybe they're not pre-approved, but they're ready to move. They may have the money, but they're just not pre-approved yet. You know what I mean? So they just
Or
kind of
the
need
kids
you.
need to graduate,
Right, the kids
so they
need to
need to wait
graduate.
until the summer.
Exactly. You know, so they're ready, but they're not ready yet. You know,
Yeah.
so you keep them around. You keep, you know, check back in with them.
Right.
Or like I had this one guy. He was warm for like since I started. He was one of the first buyers I got in like October.
Oh, wow.
He just got his pre-approval this month.
Wow.
You know, so he was warm this whole time. And like my shout out to Terrence from Cliffco, he kept up with him. Like he kept like running his credit. Like he kept up because this guy was like fixing his credit. Like, you know, it takes a few months. Like, so he kept on top of him. He kept working with him, and then he finally like Terrence called me like, all right, he's ready. You know what I mean? I was like, wow. Unfortunately for him, the market has changed so drastically that like
really
his
different.
pre-approval. You know, it's not really, you know, but we're working with him. I felt bad the other day. We actually I got him accepted. So we go to do the inspection, and the house has, because he wants like a 2-family. So the house has tenants in both floors, and both the tenants wouldn't open the door.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
we had issues
inspector
like that
came
too. Me and
and
Alex, we went to
everything.
one of his appointments. They wouldn't let us know that.
Yeah.
You want to listen, Alex? I'm sorry. I'm like, it's something you have to be.
Right.
They just won't let us.
Yeah,
They
it
won't
happened
listen.
a few times.
They
I was
won't
there
let it.
once. They just
Yeah,
didn't open the
they're.
door.
I don't know
That's
what's
like-
going on with those guys.
That's like the worst. It is a nightmare.
That's not I can
Because
do.
they don't want to leave.
Yeah.
They don't want to leave. It's like I'm staying here.
They don't want to leave.
My,
under contract
my
now.
territory. That's on the contract.
It
Yeah?
is.
Nice.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Like it's my territory. They just don't want to leave. Like right now, like a lot of rentals now. A lot of people are trying to, especially Long Island. It's like the luxury hotspot. Everyone wants to Long Island because the home offices, because of COVID, they want to work from home, which most likely is going to really end now because everybody's getting the vaccine or whatever. They're going back to the city.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to like cool down. I think the Long Island market, people are going to go back to the city, live in the city and stuff because the city's always not just, you know, people working, but people living there. That's where they're shopping, whatever. And, you know, not Long Island in general, like it's a crazy market. Like now they're like bidding like with rentals, like their best and final rental offer. And I'm like, what? Like, I really
That's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I went to a house in
insane.
New Hyde Park, a 3-bed, 2-bath, and literally, you know, went to the house, to the apartment, and I said, okay, we like the place. You know, my buyer the tenant wants to get it, and he looked at me like, we have 10 applications. You have highest and best. I'm like, excuse me.
On a rental.
I'm like,
That's
excuse,
crazy.
I'm like,
That's
excuse, I'm like this.
insane.
Excuse me. He's like, yeah. You're not gonna offer more than $3,000, right? I'm like, okay. Nice knowing you. You know, because my it's not because you know the thing is we're trying to be working with the buyers and tenants, but I feel bad for these guys. Like honestly, I feel bad. It bothers me. Like you know, like they're working, they're trying to get evicted or whatever the story. They're trying to leave this place. They have a bigger family, and you're telling someone that they got to compete and they're max like 3,000 or 3,200.
It is sad.
They can't go 36,
Yeah.
37. Like
No.
it's counting. That's their bread and butter. Like they're
Right.
struggling.
That's
They're-
their life.
It is
That's
sad.
their
You know,
cable.
People in general, they usually get an apartment. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go rent when I can't afford a house. So
Yeah.
now you're telling me they can't afford a house. Now they can't afford to rent. So
Right.
where do you want to live?
Right.
It's
They're,
sad.
they're, you know, I read somewhere that they were really just, the market, the way it is like the middle class is kind of just disappearing. Like, you know.
Basements are doing $1,500
Yeah.
a basement. You gotta be
Crazy.
kidding me.
Gross.
Like what's next? Garages now?
Right.
I won't be surprised.
Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll kind of even out a little bit.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
inventory,
It will.
it's better.
It has to. It has
will.
to.
I think we have a little bit of time.
I think
Well,
once
that-
forbearance ends in this month,
Yeah.
then things might change a little bit.
Yeah.
They're saying
Yeah.
things are going to change.
We're really victim to the state of the society right now, like the state of our country. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Well, yeah, the American dream is everybody, you know, to have a home, to buy a home, you know. Everybody wants a home, have a family, but now
Yeah.
it's just possible to even have a home or a family because it's crazy.
On
It's
Long
just the
Island,
market.
definitely.
Especially like in Long Island, like before COVID, you know, husband and wife making $100,000 each, you could buy a house, you can
Yeah.
live comfortably, you know,
Yeah.
like you have kids, you know, life moves on, life gets
Yeah.
better. But now they're looking at you like, yo, no, sorry, like a house is like a luxury thing, like you can't. It's more than an expensive than a Mercedes or BMW. Like nah, that's easier. Like you
it's way easier.
you gotta, you know, pay up, my friend, and you gotta pay up big.
Yeah, so it's like I
Yeah.
think we're in that age of like especially people like around our age, you know what I mean? We're the people who are like building
Yeah.
right now, you know.
For sure.
So I think that we're in that place where what are we gonna do? Are we gonna go to school? Are we gonna have a trade? How are we gonna get our financial freedom? You
Gotcha,
know?
yeah.
How are we gonna really live? We're like all questioned with that question of like what kind of life do you really
Of
want to live?
course. Yeah.
Like no, it's not even any longer like what do you want to be when you grow up? You know what I mean? It's 100% what kind of lifestyle do you want?
True.
Who are you going to be around? Are you going to be around your family or are you going to have to leave the state?
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I
to-
know a
to
lot of
live,
people that
like-
left. A lot of people left. I have friends that lived in Virginia, like gorgeous house, $500,000,
Yeah,
5,000 square feet. I'm like, you
Yeah.
gotta be kidding me.
gorgeous.
Yeah, and the supermarket's 45 minutes away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the kids grow up not knowing
I'll
their family.
pass.
Yeah.
I'll take my little 6,000 square foot lot in Massapequa.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some people have the luxury and
That's
some
why
people
Long
don't.
Island's
Like,
the
you
best.
know,
Yeah, the best.
It's true. There's no
best
place like New York.
I would never live near. One of my friends was
There's no place like downstate New York.
no. One of my friends.
Manhattan and Long Island, you know what
one
I
of
mean?
my friends I was
Or the
talking
boroughs,
to.
I should say.
Yeah.
One of my friends I was talking to on Monday, he was like, "Bro, everybody's leaving. They're going to New Jersey or Connecticut."
Meanwhile, there's
My-
no inventory.
or
No
my-
one's leaving.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to Miami. I'm like, New York will always be New York, bro. I'm gonna tell you
Right.
again. New York will be New York. You're not gonna change it, bro.
Yep.
Listen to the song, bro.
It's true.
The migration patterns haven't really changed
The
much.
city will come back.
It will.
City's coming back right
But,
now.
you know,
Yeah.
New York is
City's coming
like,
back.
Certain things need to change.
Once
but-
people go back to the city to start working, I guarantee things are gonna get better.
yeah.
Because
They'll be
Go
yo,
back around. Everything flips around. Tables
Yeah.
always turn.
Comes full circle.
apartments,
Exactly.
everybody's gonna go back.
Yeah.
Everybody's go back to the. I went to a restaurant on last Thursday. A place on what is it called? Midtown. Freaking full Thursday
Yeah.
night, packed.
Yeah.
No room. A reservation. So I was like, I'm happy. I'm like, okay, things.
That
are
looked
getting
like a
better.
nice dinner.
Yeah, it was nice. Lebanese place.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, so 2 more questions. What do you guys do for fun when you're not working? Don't all speak at once.
Not working.
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Like when you're not working.
Well, we're
What do
working
you guys do
24
for-
hours. It's our life. We're a lifer.
Nah, I hear you. I feel like.
What do you guys? I see you post. You like to go on
I
like.
play soccer.
Yeah.
I go to the
I
gym.
know that. You go. You have like picnics. I feel like.
Yeah, me and my girlfriend will go
Yeah.
out and
I like that.
That's
You,
nice.
you do.
Nice
You do
dinner.
Yeah,
cute things.
nice
Nice.
walks on the beach.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Beach.
summer. You guys like looking forward to like concerts, beach. What are you guys gonna do for fun?
Yeah, for
I-
sure.
Spend time with your daughter.
I have a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I do for fun. You know, I
Okay.
try to hang out with my wife and my baby.
Yeah.
It's hard because, you know, we do all work a lot, right? All 4 of us.
Yeah.
You as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Right, all 5 of us. So, yeah, I just try to spend time with them. You know, I feel kind of bad that I feel like sometimes my wife is raising my daughter kind of on her own, which sucks. So, yeah, I just try to spend time with them.
So you gotta make it.
And
yeah.
our family is close. They both have pools, so
Good.
Yeah,
that's what
so
we
that's
do for
nice.
fun, right?
Yeah.
Good. That's awesome. Last question. What piece of advice would you give someone who's looking to start their own business? Doesn't have to be real estate, just business in general.
I would say, legit, listen to The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale, because I feel like starting your own business is a mindset, right? Everybody, we don't need any more like entrepreneurs who like start and stop in 2 months. You know what I mean? So for you not to start your business and stop in 2 weeks, your mind has to be in a certain place, right? So this thing by Earl Nightingale really lets you know that you control your world. You know, like once you realize you're in control, no matter what market you're in, no matter what side of the market you're on, you know what I mean? You're still in control of it. So it's like, you got to take the reins and start and control it, like guide it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fill your head up with things that teach you how to be an entrepreneur, Think and Grow Rich, like books like that. Anything by like Rich Kiyosaki, all that stuff helps. It seems like, oh, you know, everybody that reads it, you know, you read it and put it down, but it sits in your brain. You know what I mean? If you're gonna take on the thing to be an entrepreneur, you have to have the passion, like the moxie when it sucks, when you're making no money, when nobody believes in you, when nobody thinks it's good, when your parents look at you like crazy. You got to be ready to like go through all that stuff, you know?
Sure.
So, because it's completely your dream, but once you understand you're in control, like you are in control, you're manifesting this life, you're making this life what this is, you know? Things don't matter until you make it matter. The market doesn't matter until I'm like, oh, the market. Now the market matters. You know what I'm saying? But if I wake up like the market doesn't matter. Market doesn't matter, you know? So it's like, my advice to all entrepreneurs is always to like understand that you're in control no matter what's going on, you know, and do it. Like, don't stop, keep it going. There's no time limit, you know? There's one of my favorite quotes for that type of thing is I don't even know who said it, but he's like, we overestimate what we can do in 1 year, we underestimate what we can do in 3. You know,
I like that.
I live by that because it's like words. Like you know, you start something and you're in it. You're living it every single day. Yeah. So you feel the time every day that you're putting into it. Nobody else does. You feel it. You know, you're the one who's not sleeping to get the calls. You know what I mean? You're the one dropping the flyers. You're the one working with your list. You know what I mean? You're the one doing that. So it wears you down. You know, but don't overestimate the first year. Don't think you're gonna do it all in the first year. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoy it, like while you're doing it.
It's a process.
Right? Like be like proud of yourself. If you just made one call today, like be proud of yourself every day, and like motivate yourself every single day. Be proud of like what you're doing for your dream. You know, like you're in control.
I like that.
You know,
I feel like even cold calling is like a muscle. Like you got to keep working.
Right,
on it.
like work on that. Right.
I mean, the thing is, in any kind of business, you have to work at a certain pace, and don't keep putting pressure on yourself. Right. Because you'll drain yourself, and that's it. If you ruin your health, you're done.
Right.
Because it's gonna cost you to recover your health more than even to make the money. But in business, I feel like you have to put certain goals every day. Like I make a list, like I said, like every night, what I do for the next day, and make sure I complete that, and just keep continuing building on that. I can't say, oh, I'm gonna get 4 listings today, or I'm gonna close $1 billion deals, or I'm gonna make fun.
Yeah, then if you don't,
you can't. And also, if it doesn't work out, it's okay. Right. Because if it did, if you got every closing, then life will be amazing.
You wouldn't know anything either.
Yeah, or if you talk to everybody, or everybody buys homes for you, like life will be so easy. But I always say, if you're like one of my friends, we used to talk and stuff, and we would talk about like a story. Like everybody has their own story. So if a story would be like, all right, I closed every deal, or I made this much money, I bought this, I bought that. It's a boring story. It's got to have some troubles. It has to have some climax. All right, today I failed, or today I lost everything, or I had to restart, I had to go back. Like some people in life, you lose everything, and then you have to build up, and then you get 100 times stronger than you were that time. So you were kind of like, you were there. Sometimes you got to take 10 steps back to get like 100 steps forward. That's how life is.
I agree.
Yeah. So I mean, look at Joe. I mean, he had a crazy, amazing business in JFK, which I never even imagined that thing even existed.
Right.
I never even heard about the business. Right. I never even knew it. And he was telling me, I'm like, what?
That's right. His whole family.
This kind of business does this kind of. You guys can make that kind of money.
Right.
COVID hit. Like so many jobs right now. People thought before COVID that they were living large, so lavishly, having these nice cars, making these payments.
I always drove a Hyundai.
Okay, well, I'm just saying. But you had these lavish vacations. But I'm saying like everything changed. COVID changed everything. I'm really like, we have to save money, or we have to be smart with our money, or we have to
slow everybody down.
do something what you really want. Like a lot of people now going to work, the first people that went back to work were business people, because at the end of the day, a lot of jobs are still closed. Right. The business people worked, and the business people made a lot of money, and they had a lot of other, stuff that, were funded or whatever. But, they did what they wanted to do, and they really wanted to do something of their own. And I always say, if it's easy, everybody do it. Just as simple as that. Any business, like you can, real estate, it looks nice, but...
And you can't compare yourself to other people.
Yeah, there's people you can't compare someone that's killing it like 10, 15 years of business.
Right, exactly. It's pretty good 8 years.
I mean, there's agents that are, the first year are killing it. There's agents that don't even do one deal. But at the end of the day, at least I always say, as long as you try and you did your best that day, you feel good that I did it.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's not going to happen. I mean, I always say some businesses are not meant for certain people. Like you can be like, I want to do the real estate. I can't promise myself I'm going to be in real estate the rest of my life, or maybe this year, next year. I don't know.
Right.
It's just how life goes. But you try, and you don't know if it's going to be that, but at least you know that you tried. That's the most important thing, is you tried. And you wanted it, and it didn't happen, great. Because maybe something better is going to happen to you.
Exactly.
Like, Deanna was like, I always want to be an investor. Like, real estate has so many avenues. Like, you can be a developer, investor. Okay, this doesn't work out. You can get yourself a nice corporate job or a nice job, make enough money and be an investor. You're still in real estate, right?
Right.
So you can still have your license and get good deals off the market or whatever. And people know you. Like, we network with so many people. People are like, oh, I know him. He used to work in real estate. Why are you using the show? Like,
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And I would,
go ahead. I was gonna say, what's your advice for someone?
That's just getting into the business.
Or like just being an entrepreneur.
I think my advice would be just surround yourself with people that inspire you, and then just lift you up, and surround yourself with a good team. Because I think there's days where everyone, no matter how good you're doing or how bad you're doing, where you just like don't want to prospect, or you don't want to put yourself out there, whatever business you may be in, you just don't want to do the work that it takes. But if you surround yourself with people that inspire you and kind of keep you moving in the right direction, at the end of the day, that's what it's going to take. You just have to wake up every day and know that you're going to do it no matter what. And I think being around the right people is what gets you there.
Of course.
Yeah, love that. True.
I agree. And even if it's just you too, like if you're not physically around them, listen to the podcast, get the books, like, because before I got into the brokerage, like I would listen to real estate podcasts, and some of the stuff that I learned was from people like all over like the states, like people in Phoenix, people in, because I listen to a lot of like investor friendly podcasts, but so they were like killing it in Phoenix, but I still could apply what they were doing in Phoenix to New York. I could still grab, because it's always the key. I feel like the seed of entrepreneurship is just like your mindset and your lifestyle. So everybody you hear that builds a business, they all come back to the same thing. What's your why? What are you going to, what kind of life do you want to live? How do you want to impact the world? You know what I mean? What do you, it's always exactly. What do you do to work out? What do you do to clear your mind? What do you put in your body? All that type of stuff, and in school, they don't teach us anything about entrepreneurship.
Nope.
I feel like in this environment, especially in real estate or entrepreneurship, you have to make sure you surround yourself with the right people. Because if you, in this business, I've learned, especially this year, I've learned a lot. Like even getting in the real estate, with being in the Real Estate Protege show, surrounding myself with like Brian Carb. I met you guys out of that. I mean, I network with so many people that a lot of these guys, like met Dan O'Neill, which I used to like his videos, Charles. I mean, there's so many people, Ryan, JB, like killing it. Like all these guys, these amazing people, and then knowing these amazing brokerages and knowing these so many great people in this business, which a lot of doors opened up for me, which obviously from the show or just in general, like people networking, that I learned that all these guys have a lot of stuff in similarities that they hang out with certain people. It's not like to say like, oh, we have to hang out with like, wealthy people or, choose people, but in this environment or just in yourself, you have to, in this business, you have to hang out with the positive people. You just can't hang out with negative people because this will destroy you.
Yeah.
There's people that, you can't hang out with your friends, like your old friends from college or whatever that, want to like, hang out or, just let's go have dinner or like, no, like I honestly I kind of cut my time with that kind of stuff. So I'm like, all right, I'm hanging out with people that's going to grow me or financially, mentally, physically. If it's not, I don't want to be there. Just stay away. Because positive or certain foods, just positive energy. Because in this business, it's enough stress that you're dealing with. Like, all right, I got to call this, I got to do that. What if this doesn't work out this way? That if you hang out with the wrong people, that's just going to like put you on a different level. So you want to be like, all right, someone like, all right, you know what? Today I didn't close the deal. Listen, you're going to close it tomorrow. Another next deal. I got you. Let's do this. Let's do that. How can I help you? Like, it's good to have a meeting with someone like your friends. I feel it's good to hang out with friends. Like, all right, like if you're growing, like, let's talk about business, real estate. How do I make myself better, physically, financially, mentally? Like, this is where we're at. Not, child things. Like no one wants to hang out with people like that.
I agree with that. And like it help you. Like if you're in a place where like you're in that funk or you're in that weird space, like like for me, I'm transitioning now, right? I gotta like restructure my business, So it benefits me to hang out with people who are doing listings and people who are doing that, not the buyers, whatever, but if that benefits me because I'm like, all right, I could feel the energy, I can like, tap into that because it's all in momentum. Like I feel like we've done really good, like being in our first year of real estate. Like I know, we've done really good. Like we're on like podcasts, doing shows. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who do their real estate, they don't even step into this, right? Like they're on the what's the sales scale? Non-existent.
They don't. Non-existent. They're not even. They don't know. Like they're hidden.
Exactly.
That's the big problem.
It's true.
It's true. I love that scale too.
I love that. It's 100%.
It's like the best thing to close a deal.
Yeah, it's like JB said, it's not who do you know, it's who knows
Who
you.
knows you,
100%.
exactly.
So,
People know what we're doing.
People
like,
know,
everybody knows what we're doing.
Shout out to my boy Sal. Like, he's been helping me so much. I mean, like, in general, like, a lot of people in this business, especially Ryan Riddle, shout out to him too. Amazing. JB, everybody.
Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to everybody. But I'm saying,
Shout out to the Alexander team.
No.
Shout out to.
All right, Joe. Before cutting you off. So I'm just saying, like, the environment that we're in, like, all these people, like, they don't really need to, like, help anyone or work with anyone, but they're really like trying to change people's lives.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's their game and that's their game plan. Like, I remember JB, he's like, my goal is like, I want to help 1 million become millionaires. Like, when he said that, I'm like, yeah, that was like pure gold. I'm like, wow,
It's true.
And Ryan too, like, amazing, amazing individual
Yeah,
that wants to help people out, wants to change people's lives, him, Adam, everybody, like, they want to change people. Like, these are the people you want to be around because you want to do the same thing to other people, because there's other people, like, look, for example, for Manny, for example, look at what happened. Real Estate Protege, Brian Carr, like, his family tree changed. He could have been, he was in the restaurant business, hustling, trying to make it.
Yeah.
And look, he's the Brian Carr team, number one real estate agent in Long Island,
from
in New York.
somebody coming from his story.
Exactly.
From his
like,
background.
things change, things happen, because it's all networking. Things happen.
Yeah. And you can't be afraid to ask for help. Like, that's another thing. If you're an entrepreneur, like, you don't know you want to do hair, and you don't want to ask your cousin who's been doing hair for 20 years advice. Ask your cousin. You know what I mean? Ask them something. Let them tell you no. Yeah. Let them brush you off. Don't not
keep following up.
Exactly.
I feel like, to be honest, they always say, like, honestly, I feel like your highest motivator, it could be like some random stranger.
Right.
In general.
It's so true. Like,
it's so true, because I've seen that.
Yeah.
And I'm, like I said on my Instagram, like, people like posting, like, messaging, like, oh wow, bro, you're doing good. I'm like, I haven't talked to these kids for years, or like friends or people that know me or don't even know me. I'm like,
you never know who you're inspiring.
Oh, yeah, cool. Like, I'm happy,
So
it's all in this business, a helpful business. That's why I got into this business, because I love helping people, and I feel like home is obviously the biggest investment. So
that's it.
So,
it's like
that's why we're all here.
And you changed teams, right?
Yes. I'm with Dan O'Neill.
That's it.
I'm very happy.
Dan O'Neill.
Yeah.
The marketing guru.
For real.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Great.
It's awesome. Guys, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time. Seriously, it means a lot. Tell everybody how they can reach you, call you, Instagram. Go ahead.
Yeah.
516-902-4835. My Instagram is josephperez.re. Add me, follow me, watch my videos, make fun of me. I love it. Seriously.
Yeah,
because I'm putting out some stuff. I'm putting myself out there.
Yeah,
I love it.
And email. Nobody uses email. Call or text me,
text,
or add me on Instagram. More so, add me on Instagram. See what I'm doing.
All right. So my handle is Haroon Wahab Real Estate. So it's my name and just real estate next to it. And my number is 516-557-3280. And
you gotta slow it down.
Oh yeah, I mean, okay, all right.
It's right. We're gonna add your tags on the bottom.
I'll
take it. We got you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
My Instagram is Alex W Real Estate, and my direct cell is 516-880-4296.
And my Instagram is DMichelleGraham 1L. Okay, so it's DMICHELE Graham, like graham cracker. And then follow me, send me a DM, and I'll give you my number and all that stuff.
Smart.
Awesome.
I'm giving out your number.
Thank you, guys.